Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a wonderful evening tonight as we dig into episode 40 of our Curse of Strahd campaign. If you are new here, this is the group called Trials of Imagination. We are just a group of friends that get together every Tuesday night to play some Dungeons and Dragons. This is our second campaign together as a group with the addition of 2 new members this time. It started as 4, and now we're 6. And like I said, we're playing through Curse of Strahd. It is a gothic horror type of setting. If you are familiar with the module or not, there's a place for you here because it's heavily homebrewed, so there's a lot of nods to the original as well as plenty of brand new things that you've never seen or heard before. So regardless of which of those camps you fall into, there's material here for you to enjoy, so stick around regardless of which of those you are. We got a few announcements to go through before we get started tonight, but some logistical stuff just to get out of the way. Most of you who have been here long enough already know this, but once the stream gets going, we don't interact with chat vocally. This is just to keep things progressing smoothly and not to slow down things. We have a limited time frame to do this stream, so we try to keep everything rolling smoothly and not take away from moments of roleplay by responding to something funny in chat or something like that. But we do try to interact with you as much as we can in chat itself. So you will see us reply there, hopefully, unless we're just really occupied, in which case just give us time. Let us get to it. At the end of the stream, there is a section where that is the only thing we do is talk to you guys. So if you're new here, just know towards the end, we have a section for that. If you see new people come in and we're unable to comment to them first, and we are like mid-role play or something, and you see somebody trying to talk to us, if you would, just let them know what's going on so no one's in the dark and everybody can enjoy what's going on and feel like they're still a part of the stream and not getting ignored, more importantly. Okay, so there's that basic announcement. So if you want to listen to any of these episodes, you can do ! YouTube. That'll take you there. That is where these episodes will be permanently, so that if you miss them on a stream, because not everybody can show up on a Tuesday night and sit here for a couple hours, and we get that, so they will live on YouTube, so you can watch them at your own pace whenever you want, in spurts or all at once, however you want to do it. They will be there. If that's not your thing and you would rather listen to it in an audio format, we have some of them on Spotify, so you can do I think it's just ! Podcast in the chat, and it'll take you to a Spotify link that will take you to where that is. So we have the episodes in an audio format, as well as a few various episodes of just talking nerd stuff. If you want to contribute to the stream in any form of donation or just a thank you type of thing, you can do Twitch subs is one of the most direct ways on this outlet. But a lot of you asked, hey, how can we do this without Twitch taking a huge chunk of what we donate away? Because they do take a little over half. So that's when Patreon came into play. So we have ! Patreon that you can do in the chat as well, which is a place that you can give to us and we can also give back to you. In addition, we have some Patreon-only podcast episodes and a few other things that we try to implement throughout that. We have a Patreon-only in the Discord where we talk about some stuff and have its own voice channel to where those guys can sit and talk and just have kind of this own exclusive area to where we hang out and go a little more into detail about stuff than we do in other places. So there's that. We have a merch store, so you can do ! Merch in the chat, and it will get you towards that. That's very important tonight, because if you missed last week's episode, you would have heard the announcement. There is a giveaway tonight at the end of the episode. So we will be giving away some stuff at the end of the night. It could be from the merch store. It could be from D&D Beyond. It could be something else. So stick around for that. And remember, and you can let anyone that rolls into the chat as the night goes by, the only thing you have to do to be qualified to win that is to be present in chat. That is it. It's none of the point buy like it has been in the past ones. This is just be here, be present, and that will get you in the pot to be able to potentially win something at the end of the night. And we'll get to that in the post-stream section whenever we get to that later tonight. Other logistical announcements. So this is episode 40, and contextually, for anyone that hasn't been keeping up exactly, it's a pretty big episode narrative-wise with everything that's going on. So there's going to be a week off coming up And I'm also going to be out of town the following week. So we're about to have not 1, but 2 weeks off after this. So next Tuesday is May 31st. The following is June 7th, I believe. And both of those will be off. We might try to do a game night or something to have something going on, but just know that the Curse of Strahd campaign will take a brief break. And then June 14th is actually going to be the one-shot with Mark as the focus, led by Mr. Stormer again. So technically, this campaign is going to have kind of like a 3-week break after this episode, which might hint at a little bit of the magnitude of what we're about to experience here. But just go ahead and say that now. I'll remind everyone again at the end of tonight, just so we can put that out there, and we'll try to bring it up in Discord from time to time too, so that no one forgets what's going on and no one's out of the loop and doesn't show up and like, hey, where the heck is everybody? Why is anything going on? Yeah, so there's that announcement. And of course, like we said, June 14th, look forward to the one shot that will focus specifically on the character Mark and some of the stuff that went on before this campaign and before, whatever timetable they decide to do in their one shot, well before the TOI Curse of Strahd campaign. Looking forward to some of that. And that I can think of, that is all the announcements I have to cover. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anything. Other than just like the heck, guys, we're at episode 40. I feel like we blinked. And here we are. And things are about to really, really go down. It's been wonderful. It's been so much fun. Every last one of you are incredible. And thank you guys so much for showing up to actually watch this and listen to this and allow us to attempt to do our thing while also being entertaining for you guys. And I look forward to what tonight and to what comes later after this and the rest of the campaign. This is a pretty big milestone between 40 episodes, first of all, and then what tonight will be by the end of it. So thank you guys so very much. It means a lot and looking forward to it. But I think that's enough of me jabbering. So if everybody else is ready, how about we go ahead and transition into episode 40 of Curse of Strahd. All right, we have a few camera adjustments taking place, so I'll just have it on this screen for the time being while we do a little bit of setup. So, previously on the Curse of Strahd, we had Father Lucian go inside the church, see an ominous hooded figure sitting at the front. Got no response from them. The hooded figure stood up and began walking away back towards the entrance of the church and walked past Father Lucian. Lucian still just trying to give the man assurances that, if they need anything, just let them know. Goes to put a hand on him, but the second he does, he immediately recoils it in pain and notices his hands start to decay. Hits his knees and drops everything in his hands and tries to stop the spread before looking around and noticing that every single person in the cathedral has fallen to the ground and is completely decayed. And he looks up and realizes that standing in front of him is the Reaper, aka the leader of the seven. To which he only replies 2 words, "Oh no." The Reaper proceeds to walk straight to the front of the cathedral. Everyone outside none the wiser, because there's a festival going on outside and they have no clue what just transpired inside the cathedral. The tall, ominous figure just goes all the way to the steps where he's just barely outside, but still kind of covered by the shadow of the cathedral. Then just simply looks up. And everyone that is enjoying the festival notices that almost in a blink, the weather goes from clear and sunny to suddenly clouds just hurtling in as if running to the scene and smothering any form of light that was there, turning dark, and rain beginning to sprinkle before beginning to pour, all in an instant. And then before there could be enough time to react to that, aside from people just starting to move around and trying to gather things, there was red, but not from beneath, but from the sky. And there's just a plethora of what looks like hurling rocks covered in red flame that just begin smashing one by one by one by one by one all over Vallaki, and turns it into just a burning desolation of a city. And that is what caused our party to be separated, to be thrown about, to have a little bit of memory loss trying to figure out what has happened. The characters themselves still don't know what happened. And then we picked up last episode with them waking up, not knowing what had happened. Started with Elbreth, who found Nadar, who found Luthrian along the way, and did what they could to try and make sense of things. Mark and Millard found each other, who found Ismark, and they were together trying to make sense of things. Ayla and Zyle were together, and Zeke found them, as well as the 7th member of the 7. And then with Mark and Millard, when Millard went away for a little bit, ran into Omen and Ephraim before coming back. And Nadar and Elberth and Luthrian ran into Kinos and Samael. So all the party is spread out and running into different members of the 7, and things are not looking great. And in the center, right in front of the cathedral where Millard and Mark are, there, the Reaper has cast some form of spell of some kind that has this giant dome that is kind of growing at a slow pace. And they have noticed through a couple of tests and seeing things that when people would go into it, even if accidentally, they would quickly decay from age in a matter of 10 seconds or less. And Millard shot an arrow in the same effect. It actually dropped before it should have and started to decay. Ismark has gone up to this spell and has placed a hand on it and is doing what he can to keep it from spreading, while Mark and Millard are doing their best to keep people from running into it, to try and save as many lives as possible. Nadar and Elbereth did try to get some high ground to see what was going on and see what the desolation was, and they could not see an end to it. It just seemed like the entire city was burning before Luthrian did push them away before a dire wolf came to the side to keep them from getting hit by it. He quickly dispensed of the dire wolf, but then at that moment they kind of realized that Kinos and Samael were upon them, and there was some altercations there, but Luthrian stepped up to the plate and gave both of them a bit of a surprise and kind of sent both of them flying, which did not make them very happy. And they have both then summoned creatures of their own to join the fray, and now that particular group is surrounded by Bodaks and wolves and dire wolves and 2 members of the 7. Whereas back where Ayla and Zal and Zeke are squaring off and trading words while Ayla's trying to offer words of encouragement. And there's also the extra member of the 7 off to the side. And then at the end of the episode, we did pan back to Father Lucian, who went into Tanner's room that had been sealed off for the special type of magic, and it was still intact. And he managed to send Tanner through some form of teleportation. And once he made sure that Tanner was safe, he just put his head down, acknowledged that he would have liked to have one more biscuit, and let go of the magic he was using to stop the decay, and allowed himself to completely decay. And that is where we left off last episode, but more importantly, where we pick back up this episode. So, we are going to start with Elberth and Nadar. Now let me get the screens up and see if we have these cameras going. We do. Cool. Everything's here. That's nice. Everybody look pretty.
I'm alive.
All right. Let's get this going.
We got a compliment from our DM. How nice.
Yeah.
That
usually means he's about to completely break our spirits.
Or give us $5.
My spirits are already real low.
What he meant was everyone's looking pretty ripe for a TPK.
Yeah.
Hey,
right.
Somebody's got to live to tell the story.
All right. Elberth and Nadar. You guys are mid-fight with Luthrian, and there is kind of just forming in the area as if there wasn't enough rubble. There is now just kind of a sea of bodies beginning to populate between wolves and Bodaks that as quickly as you guys are dispensing of them, more are showing up. And it's just this back and forth, back and forth. There's been a lot of attacks and some sort of healing to try and keep Nadar at bay since he is at such a low health, but you are currently where you're at. And things are not looking great because the numbers don't seem to be actually dwindling. You're just taking them out, but more keep populating, more and more and more and more. And Luthrian is going to just take a deep breath as you guys have a little bit of a reprieve as they seem to just be summoning more. Any better ideas?
Go for the big men, or we run.
You see a place to run?
That's the problem.
Look.
And that I see is fight.
Good. And look, I don't mean to be offensive. I don't see a dwarf outrunning these wolves. Or me, for that matter.
Nadar tosses his great axe inside, pulls out his hand axes.
We can try.
Best we can do is stand our ground and try to do as much as we can before we go.
I suppose that's one way to look at it. You happen to know the spell called Light?
Yes. I don't think that will help right now. We'll just, like...
He just pulls out his sword and kind of like leans it over to you. Trust me.
Okay. So yeah, then I will touch my mace to the sword and the sword lights up.
He's about to be pissed. And he's looking a direction and then quickly turns and throws his sword and it goes straight into Kinos. And before it does, there's just a piercing light that not only has the sword gone in him, but it is just blinding him to where he is
We run that way.
completely taken off guard. That'll distract him for a little bit. Focus on the other one.
Nadar will charge him towards the other guy and just start laying into him with all he's got.
To Samael or to the Bodax or the wolves?
Just whatever gets in his way.
Well,
Just trying to find a way out.
Who was he pointing at? Was he pointing to Samael?
Yeah, that's the only 2-7 that are near you is Kinos and Samael. Okay, so Nadar is just... there's a sea of wolves and Bodax in between you and Samael, so you're just going to be kind of just mowing through this sea of enemies trying to get... occasionally... Go ahead.
I'm sure I still have the tail up, depending on how long it's been. So like I'll have like 2 attacks with that axis taking out enemies, and then the tail swinging out at enemies behind me as I run.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be sending off some celestial blasts.
One by one.
Yeah.
Pumping them out, and you guys are just mowing through these enemies like there's no tomorrow, and is quite literally as if there's no tomorrow. And
Well, I was trying to go for, like, holding my mace up and pointing it towards Samael, while Nadar is, like, taking care of in between. So I go high, he goes low.
and you can see Luthrian hold his hand back out, and the sword he threw actually comes out of Kinos and comes back to him. And he joins the fray, cutting through all of everything with piercing light, just kind of going through it as he makes his way. But you all hear like this deep, guttural growl and whisper from Kinos' direction. And there's like blackness kind of pouring out from where the wound was. And from the blackness, he just holds his hand out, and there begins to form a long sword. And the sword is wreathed in black flame. I do not typically care for these endeavors, but if I must... He's gonna look at both Nadar and Elberth, and you guys are still fighting, so he's just kind of talking at you. You can hear what he's saying, but you know, take into a grain of salt, I guess, how much you're paying attention.
He's talking to my braid.
Right.
Talking to the tail.
Talking to the tail.
Tell me, Miss Elberth of old, that I apparently know. What do you know of this weapon? What do you know of the Black Razor?
Do I know anything about the Black Razor? It doesn't sound familiar to Becky.
Roll a history check. With advantage. So you're a little distracted at the moment, so it's not a very cohesive memory, but that name does spark a bit of immediate concern, as this weapon that your race knew as something that needed to be destroyed because it is an abomination. And it is something that, when striking an enemy down, not only kills them, but actually takes their soul.
I respond by momentarily pointing at him instead and sending a sacred flame to his face.
Actually, he's gonna let you do it. It just lets you hit him, and you can see his skin is like melted away, and you just kind of see like a mix of flesh and skeleton as he just let it happen. Kind of gives like this weird crooked smile as it all starts to stitch back together. Now. Let's not ruin all the fun, shall we? He just kind of stretches out the sword and begins walking towards you. And now Elbreth and Nadar have made their way through enough of them that the current populated enemies are fairly depleted. And now you're close to Samael. And Luthrian has picked up on... He doesn't know what the Black Razor is, but he's picked up on the fact that he's holding something and has alluded to you, so it's something that matters, and is now kind of cautiously just weighing the fact that you guys are in between two members of the Seven. And that is where we leave you two. And shift to Mark and Millard, who have been frantically trying to both help people from any form of buildings that they can, as well as keep people from coming in to the spell that the Reaper has cast right in front of the cathedral.
Has it expanded at all?
It is not.
Yeah.
His Mark is
Steady.
keeping it at bay.
Okay. Are there still people that are running towards the blob?
There's definitely occasionally people that you can think of it as people are in panic and disarray and chaos, so they don't even see it. They're just running. So occasionally, yes, people are just running by.
Okay. Millard, could you maybe rope off this area to access way to the blob so that people can't get there?
I've already used all the rope I've got, Mark. I don't know what else to do. No, just keep going. Yeah. Go that way.
Here you go. Here's some rope. You hear a voice from behind you that's just holding rope, and you see Omen just kicking her feet off the top of a building.
Oh, you again?
But she drops you something. Do you want to catch it?
Nope.
Okay.
I kind of startle and take 2 steps backwards from where she is, almost falling into the barrier. But the rope that I've already placed catches me, and I realize I shouldn't do that.
You
Mark, we might have a problem.
And you see now what she dropped in front of you is not rope, but intestine.
I knew you were gonna say that! Why?
You can notice her hands are covered in blood.
Really? Why would they be-
Oh man, that's
why would-
gross. Wait. Ugh.
He needed rope.
That's not rope.
It would work like rope.
No.
You'd be surprised what this stuff can do.
Did she pick it up to
Why are
make a
you
gesture with
here?
it?
Would you ask, Millard?
Did she pick it up and just make a gesture with it?
Yes.
Just want to be clear on that.
Yep. Just literally playing with it.
What do I have? What do I have?
Why are you here?
I'd like to know that too. Good question.
Just kind of looks up. Is it not obvious by the desolation?
Correct.
Then why ask the question?
It's not obvious.
Then you are fools. Vallaki has taunted Strahd for too long. And now it is time for their judgment.
Why didn't this happen sooner? You all came. At least a few of the other ones did before. Why you choose this moment to fully unleash whatever desolation this is?
You guys could have invaded before.
Oh, that's not true. Those pesky bones make things complicated.
One of
What
your
bones?
mates, the bones at the church, Mark, the bones that I had absolutely nothing to do with.
Oh.
The point is, one of your mates came with a great big army, and he stood at the gates, and he walked away. What changed his mind, or what changed yours in coming back here? Come on, Omen, you're better than that?
Nothing changed. We could not have entered then even if we wanted to. But we wanted to stake things out.
So, something happened such that the bones no longer prevent you from entering.
See? Not so foolish after all.
Don't go this way, saying to the people.
You can thank your friend Millard here for speeding things up a bit. I do appreciate that, by the way.
Hey, what did I do?
The blood,
Omen, answer me.
Perplexed look.
the blood of the innocent, my dear boy. You spilled it.
I don't recall that. I'm not above
Oh.
spilling blood, but only those that deserve it.
Do you have any other reason for being here other than just destroying the city, Omen?
Do I need one? Perhaps it's to kill you.
I don't know. I thought you can't hurt us.
I believe that will be coming to an end very, very soon.
Why is that?
You'll see.
I'd like to know.
It's part of the fun, my dear boy.
You're pretty confident, Omen, when you don't have your pets around.
Would you like to play with one of them?
No, we're no dog handlers.
Mark, you
If
hear
you need them, you're a lot less than we think you are.
and Mark hears a deep howl in the distance from behind him.
Is that all you got, Omen? Petty little dogs? That doesn't sound very strong.
We should... Millard, let's go get some high ground in case we're gonna get attacked.
We won't get attacked, Mark. Not from someone as weak as Omen.
I'm concerned about Omen's pets.
If she's weak enough to have to use pets, I ain't got nothing to fear.
In any case, let's go for some high ground. I want to look for a building to climb.
Well, before you even get a chance to do that, you talking to Millard, if you were to turn to look now, you can see that standing in pretty much every single pathway you can look is a large hellhound that is starting to approach your direction. And there's quite a few of them.
So every direction that is potentially able, I'm potentially able to go.
You don't see
what
you don't see a pathway that doesn't have a hellhound walking down it.
Okay, what about on the map, this building right here, just below the blob?
That I mean,
One that's on fire?
that's a building that's on fire.
It's on fire?
You can see it.
Yeah. So it's not
just
It's lit up.
yeah, you can so it's not engulfed like all the way on the outside like the other ones is, but it's definitely burning from within.
Not a stable
Okay.
platform.
Right.
it's better than nothing.
And it's also a tall building.
It's also better than hellhounds.
Huh?
Standing in fire is better than hellhounds.
Probably.
I mean, maybe. Easemark at this point is kind of looking at you. He's holding it and looking at both. What are you?
I want to move over to the building, cast the spell rope trick, and climb up the rope onto the building.
You cast it successfully, but when you even like start to pull yourself up, the part of the building collapses and you just fall back to the ground. It is very unstable. So Easemark is looking at both of you. Why are you talking? Just run.
Escape was my plan. Can I just run over the building since I'm on top of it at least? Maybe crumbled? It's crumbled, so it's lower down now.
Like, is there a way through the rubble?
Yeah.
Not where Mark is.
Higher up?
Seemingly the only potential way out at all would be a little more where Millard's direction is.
Where's
Like just-
Miller?
Up,
Straight
like
up.
just past Omen. Like we walked past Omen.
Mm-hmm. But to even get to him from where you are, you'd have to do some maneuvering. And Millard, you can now note as well that if you were looking, hellhounds are beginning to like come from like almost every direction that you can see. That any form of pathway that would just be a normal road is definitely has hellhounds walking down it. And from the direction you came from the south, there's also a very tall 9 foot hooded figure walking at you. Would the deuce would be Ephraim coming your way.
Yep. What type of game are you playing, Omen?
My favorite.
I know Strahd doesn't want you doing this.
Do you now?
Yeah, he's more sophisticated.
It's like I said last time. I said I wouldn't lay a hand on you. I didn't make any promises about my pets.
Oh, I know that. I'm just saying. I think Strahd will be too displeased if your games go farther than this. I think, from what I know, you're here for the city, not for us. We just happen to be here.
2 for 1 special, I suppose.
And I don't think he, and I point to where the Reaper is. Is he still like around, right?
You don't see him anymore.
Okay. I don't think you're a Reaper friend. Whoever he's
We don't know
to.
his name. We as players do, but our characters don't.
I just kind of say it as a description, not as his actual name.
Right.
Okay.
Whoever, Mr. Master of Death and Decay. I don't think he'll be too displeased either.
Perhaps. But I am bored. Let's see how well you do when not with the full group.
Okay, I'm climbing my rope.
The rope that fell back down?
It's a magical rope with rope trick, so I can climb it. It's not gonna fall down.
It's just suspended in air.
Yeah, it goes up to a portal,
Okay.
that extra dimensional space that lasts for 1 hour, but I can climb it.
Yep. Go for it.
You've got to want something, Omen. Tell me what it is.
I like death. It's fun. I get to play with the stuff that's inside the people when they die. See her just literally playing with intestines.
So I point at the decayed bodies.
Mm-hmm.
So how much fun is that? You don't get to play with anything there. It's all gone. It's all ruined. All your pretty little toys.
I know. That's why I'm not gonna kill you with fire. Let my dog eat you. Partially. And then
All I'm saying is,
Millard, you see one of them is very close now, kind of bow down as if it's getting ready to jump. And then it takes a dive for you. And you can have any form of reaction you want. It's going to get interrupted, but just letting you know you can have your defense reaction ready.
okay.
And this large hellhound is jumping right for Millard, and then suddenly you see a hand just come across and almost backslap it to a certain regard, and a radiant light emits from it, and it just literally bursts from the inside out and just radiates a massive light that kind of blinds everything for a brief second. That comes back to, and then you have a brown cloak in front of you with a big gray beard. And you see Henrik standing before you.
I've never
What?
seen a cloak with a beard.
What in the world happened? And that is where we'll leave off with you two. And now we pick up with Zyle and Ayla. So,
Music change.
Zyle and Zeke had been having discussions at the last time, and things were escalating, and Ayla had been trying to navigate things down, and Zeke, in an attempt to speed things up, threw an object of a little spearhead towards Ayla, and it hit her and started to cause like blackness to kind of vein out and spread through her, and she had kind of lost her strength to stand and fell down, setting Zyle into a bit of a very serious and upset state. What ensued after that point was a skirmish that, if the city had not already been in ruins, certainly would have caused it. And Zhao and Zeke have been trading blows for a few minutes now, both of which getting in plenty of good hits back and forth. And both of you you're standing firm, but you look like you've taken a punch. And Zeke is just kind of acting like it's all a game and just laughing it off. That all you got?
So, wanton death and destruction is just a sport for you now, is it?
Anything to help pass the time. I must say, Big Z, I'm a little disappointed. I thought that, well, perhaps if I put a little motivation in front of you, it'd be a little more fun to play with. Yeah, here your friend
You
is.
should know I'm more stubborn than that.
Fair enough. Yeah, here your friend is, dying in an unknown place. And you don't even have courage to kill me. You can fool other people, but I know you. You pull any punches, brother.
I think you know as well as I do that I have plenty of courage. I'm just not cowardly enough to kill you, because the strongest person I know asked me not to.
And to that, he just kind of just grabs you, just decks you straight in the face, and then just, you can tell he's
He just doesn't even try to dodge or anything. He just takes it.
he's looking. He's kind of like starting to lose his composure, and he hits again, hits again, hits again, hits again, hits again, and just keeps
He just takes it as
going.
much as he can for an old guy.
And you hear him start shouting, "Fight back! Fight back!" And you're just gonna keep taking it?
Yep. Is
So-
he hitting him in the face, or
Mm-hmm.
I assume he's bleeding pretty profusely. He's
Yep.
as much as he can, and you may deem I have to roll to this, but he's not even gonna like wipe the blood away.
Okay. Nope. He's got your Zal's looking pretty bad visibly. Like it looks like he's taken a beating. He is just taking one hit after hit after hit after hit after hit, and is yelling at you to fight back. Do you have anything to say to his statement to fight back?
You're better than this, Zeke.
He just looks like
Stop trying to take the coward's way out.
really, and the only reason I'm going to do this is because of how much of a beating you've taken to the face. Roll a perception check.
With my swollen eye.
My brand.
That is a 20. Not natural.
Oh, okay. So you look. He on his face has the expression of just pure rage, and he just keeps telling you to fight back. And you've said your words, and you actually somehow, probably just with the gridlock of your brother and how much it internally deep down still means to you, you actually see that his eyes are watery. But nonetheless, he still is showcasing what seems to be rage, and goes to take another big swing to hit you, but Ayla actually comes in between you and takes a big hit.
He
And he drops.
would he see her jumping in between it all?
No, it's more of like just
It's-
you see fist, and then you see something get in the way of the fist,
Okay.
and then Zeke just kind of annoyed lets both of you go, and now you're both on the ground. He just kind of puts his hands on his hips and just.
Zeke, it's your brother. If nothing else, he's your own mother's son as well. Why?
To that, he's gonna spit at you. You keep on Mo's name out your mouth.
So we're both on the ground. Is Zyle in a place where he can make eye contact with Ayla?
Yeah.
He's just kind of open his eyes as best as he can, and he's gonna mouth. He's not even gonna say it out loud. He's just gonna mouth "thank you," and he's gonna try his best to stand back up.
It's a struggle, but you manage to regain yourself and kind of stretch the old bones a little bit.
He's kind of wobbly on his feet, and he spits a big wad of blood at the side. Wipes his eyes where you can see. Your quarrel is with me. You leave her out of this.
Tell the idiot not to get in the way of my punch, and maybe it won't. But if she's what it takes to get to you, maybe there's something there.
I scream in pain as the dark veins continue to spread.
Mm-hmm.
Zyle definitely flinches at that.
And in your flinch, he takes a moment of opportunity to get close again, and just another straight hit to the face. And it's just going to be the same procedure. He's going to start trying to hit you again. You retaliating or taking?
He will kind of like try to block, but he won't fight back, so to speak.
It's just block, block, block. Occasional one coming through the block, and just over and over and over. And it gets to where he's barely able to stand. And he's like, oh, no. Not done with you yet. He actually holds his hand out, and you see a little bit of illumination come from his hand, and you feel your face heal a little bit, only to get hit again.
As he draws back to hit again, I am going to just do a sneaky, like, right in his gut. Just didn't want you to think you had a full handle on your older brother here. As he gets hit again.
Yep. Just trading blows.
And it wasn't, he didn't even do it in a way to like hurt him, just like a, just to let him know.
Yeah.
I stand up slowly in pain. And at this point, I assume they've kind of walked past me as he's punching him.
Mm-hmm.
So I stumble behind Zeke, and I just start like hitting him on his back.
Okay.
With no strength at all, because I have none. Just slowly hitting him with my hands, and then just saying over and over, your brothers, you can stop.
And to that, he's just in between punching Zhao, just kind of throw an elbow behind. So I don't know, depending on what you're doing.
If I can notice that in any way, in the midst of getting, beaten half to death, I will definitely attempt to grapple him and prevent him from doing that. From elbowing Ayla.
Sure. Yeah. You can grab, so try to keep him from doing the elbow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you managed to
no.
To grab it. Strike a nerve, did it?
And I'm gonna just like look at him as right here.
Well, I want to, but you won't play the game. So if that's what it's got to take to play the game. And he, instead of, because he's been trying to push back, which is what you're keeping it from doing, so he does the opposite, which is go back forward into you and punches, which you can decide if you want to hold on to. If you hold on, he's going to not hit with that arm and do the other while you took a punch.
When he does do that, I will kind of, as best I can, say, you're accusing me of pulling punches, but I saw what you did to those guards, and I don't think I'm the only one pulling punches here. What are you so afraid of, Zeke?
Again, with your perception check from earlier, you can tell his eyes are watering, but he's keeping a face of rage up, and he does start hitting, and you can tell it went up a little, or it does feel harder now. But you know it's still not all he's got, but he did up it a little bit.
So when Zeke punched Ayla, hits her in the face, she screams and falls back. And as they continue their fight, she doesn't have the strength to stand anymore, so she basically army crawls toward them, and then grabs on to Zeke's leg and says, your mother would not want this. You can stop. Just stop.
And what was the expression Zyle saw kind of changes a little bit to like pure rage and anger now. I warned her.
Whole person.
And this time he's going to hit you, but not in the face, in the chest. And when it does, it feels like all the wind gets knocked out of you, and you feel like a couple of your ribs break. Like he hits you hard. And this is Zyle specifically. And you actually fall to your knees to that one because it took a little bit out of you.
When he
The
falls, I
moment
reach
he
my
makes-
hand up to him.
Okay. Zeke just kind of walks out of the way just to kind of like hold his hands over his face as if he's just annoyed and irritated.
Kyle is breathing very raggedly. But he's if he can be, he's at the ready. The moment he makes a move towards Ayla, he's going to throw a whole person at him.
Okay.
As they're both laying there, Ayla musters up all of her strength that she can, which is almost nothing.
Mhm.
And just puts her hand on Zyle and smiles at him. And then she stands up and turns to face Zeke.
He tries to hold her back.
Okay. Other than facing him, what are you doing?
To really want what is this
you're-
what you want to happen? For one of you to die.
And instead of looking at Ayla, he looks at Zyle. That is exactly what I want to happen. And he's going to start walking towards Ayla. At what point do you want to try to cast Hold Person?
The minute he gets within reach of her.
So he gets within
Or the
reach.
second, I should say.
He gets to within reach and actually like goes to like grab the throat and just kind of gets frozen. Really?
Really. He's going to try to stand back up. I don't know if he can or not.
Now see, I hate to ruin the fun, but this is the pros of not being alone. And then, Ayla, suddenly you just feel a huge blow to your side, and you get all the wind knocked out of you. And you just kind of fall back down. And the other hooded figure of the seven had just like done a side fist just into her ribs just to hit her. And just the pure blow just knocked all the wind out of her. And he grabs like just the back of her clothing and picks her up one-handed and just throws her about 20 feet off to the side. And she tumbles and rolls.
You said last week I have no idea who this is, right?
No idea.
Can Zyle stand?
You can, yeah.
He's going to stand up. Zeke, we still have our differences to work out, but well, you're going to pay for that. And I'm going to throw the biggest upcast guiding bolt I can at them.
At both of them?
Just at the one that sucker punched Ayla.
Okay.
If this will hit. Oh my gosh, are you serious? That's an 8.
You
Freaking 2.
you cast it, and he just kind of shoves his hands at it and actually like deflects it with his hand. And Zeke, just in an opportunity. Well, would you lose your hold person when doing that?
No.
Okay. So Zeke's still held.
Mhm.
Okay. So Zeke, trying to be crafty, has his hand up here with his left hand. Casts the exact same thing straight into your gut. Sends a guiding bolt straight into your stomach.
Into me.
Mm-hmm. Same effect, just kind of straight to the ground.
I yell out from the distance, "Stop it!"
If you my, he looks to his compatriot, and he kind of like waves a hand, and suddenly his whole person seems to let go. Jerk move, brother. Jerk move. Well, I suppose we're gonna have to speed things
the
up
one
here.
who brings someone that throws sucker punches with him.
If you just would have killed me,
He's
we
very
would have.
actively coughing up blood at this point.
If you just would have had the courage to kill me, this wouldn't have to be this way. So,
Say the same to you.
so be it. I'm gonna make you hurt bad enough that you wish you had killed me. And he starts. At this point, you're really struggling. You're on all your knees and can't even get the strength to stand. And he's gonna just walk over and he grabs Ayla by the hair and stands her up to where she's on her knees, to where she's facing you. And the hooded figure kind of takes a step by step by step and now is standing in front of you as well. And this is where we will leave you two momentarily.
No. So in my head, like all that, I imagine the scene in The Last Samurai where they're doing the
Oof.
sword fight with the training swords, and Tom Cruise keeps getting up and getting clobbered. It's kind of...
Mm-hmm. So back with Nadar and Elbreth. It has been one fight after another, after another, after another. They are attempting to keep everything at bay while more are summoned back and forth. Where Mark and Millard were, all the dogs have begun just coming at them. And there is Henrik doing the best of his ability to literally deject all of them, while Mark and Millard can do whatever they would like to independently to attempt to keep them at bay. And then we just had the time with Zao and Ayla and know what's going on there, so everyone is worse for wear. And then in
Literally everyone.
in the distraction of the dogs and not having a clear view, two figures have now kind of arrived in front of the cathedral. And there is, standing at the front, the Reaper, and none other than Strahd himself. And Strahd just kind of takes a look. You know, I rather had wished things could be different. But it seems all of you have chosen your side. So be it. To all my 7, you are no longer forbidden from bringing harm to these people. Have at thee. And he turns and grabs what is a person and pulls him up by the head, and you see that there's really beaten up really badly is the Baron that Strahd has grabbed. Take a look, you old fool. Was it all worth it? All the years of undermining me and my abilities, and saying that all of this farce of a city, it was all to you? Would make me laugh. Fret not, you won't have to really endure it much longer. I have grown quite tired of your games. Let this be a reminder to any that would dare oppose me. You just see like a flick really quickly, just and the man's throat just slices and blood just begins pouring down from the front of it. And you see Strahd just kind of reach into his back and has a cup and just leans the cup to the front of it before letting go, and just like he's holding the hair but just throws the body and it just goes airborne and disappears over the cathedral. Spits it out.
I knew this was going to be brutal, but not that brutal.
Yep. Have at thee. And he begins to walk away. And then everything shifts for all members. Suddenly, Nadar and Elberth notice that the enemies seem to have like a different look about them. And now Samael and Kenos are both coming in and taking swings directly. Whereas for Millard and Mark, Ullman has jumped into the battlefield and her spear is now out. And she is trying to make stabs at you, or Ephraim kind of begrudgingly pulls out a large staff and begins taking strikes at anyone that's near him. And where Nadar and Elberth are, things are not looking good. Whereas most of the enemies are kind of stopped. They've stopped bothering trying to summon things now that they actually get to go full force. And things are starting to not go in the direction you would want to go.
Oh no, I'm just imagining the dark here, like blocking attacks as best he can, like using the tail for the AC bonus that they have, that it adds.
And Luthrian kind of is just taking an assessment of the situation and comes to like an internal realization. He just looks at you both, kind of gives a little side smirk, waves his hand, and you see a blue dome case both of you. Or both of you are inside of this blue energy.
What's going on?
And Samael, on the other side of it, just looks at it and hits it and is not able to do anything. And he looks at Kenos, and Kenos takes his his sword, his black razor, and tries to hit it, and still nothing is going through it. And they just kind of just both look at Luthien just in a fit of rage. And Luthien just kind of looks at both of you.
I'm not a mole.
I don't know how much time this will buy you, but it's all I can do. The old man seems to think that you all mean something here. That's enough for me. And he just kind of turns his arm, which is half his arm was cut off, so it's blue kinetic energy, and it changes from an arm into like a spear-looking weapon in one hand while he has a sword in another.
What are you about to do?
Let's dance, pretty boys. And Luthien begins to engage both Samael and Kenos 2-on-1 as you guys are stuck inside the dome territory. And he holds his own pretty well for a while. Before inevitably, the fact that it's 2-on-1, they kind of overtake him and start getting some cuts in with their weapons and getting some blows, and he starts taking injury after injury before fatigue kind of ultimately sets in and he gets disarmed. And Samael, with his blade, actually runs him all the way through to where Luthien gets a sword through the stomach, and he kind of just falls to the ground, holding on to it. Not before looking at him and just kind of smiling, and when his left hand points a finger and shoots a blue energy bolt that hits Samael in the chest and actually sends him flying a few feet, but still holding the sword on him, and spits out some blood. He looks at Elberth and Nadar. It could have gone better. And now Kenos stands up and walks up to Luthien with his black razor sheathed. Or not sheathed, but held out. I hope it was worth the foolish act. And he runs the black razor straight through Luthien's chest.
No.
And you see him touch. And you see the sword kind of glow in a more vibrant black energy as it pulsates. As it seems like it's like almost like pulling something out of Luthien. And you see the light just kind of fade from Luthien's eyes. And Kenos pulls out the sword, and Luthien's body just falls limp to the side. And now there, Samael has gotten back up, and they're both approaching you, looking at the dome, just kind of pacing around it, trying to figure out how to get in. Back to Mark and Millard. Things are a little chaotic. Millard, what would you like to be doing to kind of fend off the dogs?
I was hoping we weren't at that point yet. I still wanted to be.
Yeah, you can have some interplay with Omen.
Okay. So, before the dogs jump on us, which I guess we can't really do now.
Well, we can say they're doing that. Omen is trying to stab you, and you can just dance and talk while she tries to stab you.
Yeah.
What would you like to say to her?
Are we having fun yet? Honestly, I thought you'd be faster than that.
I am not much of a fighter. If you would be still, I could play with your insides more.
Tell you what, how good of a friend are you to that large fellow there?
Not very.
I just want to know how much of your toys you want to share.
Mm,
You know,
I-
half, 1/3, 1/4.
I've never been good at math.
Have you been good at sharing?
No.
So as she says no, I'm gonna push the spear aside and like pull her in really close to whisper to her.
Okay.
So hopefully Mark and the others. I've got a deal for you. What if I said that I could give you tenfold of these bodies? Tenfold toys to play around with.
Now that is interesting.
If you simply let me and my friend go. Now of course you'd
What
have to work this
are you
out.
doing, Millard?
I'm imagining Mark is probably
You're
still
gonna,
dealing with the dogs.
yeah, you're gonna have dogs trying to.
I'm up with a rope.
There,
And you're on the other side of the room. Or
Right.
like the arena.
right.
I don't know if you can see it.
You wouldn't be able to see it very well.
I'd see you up with close with Omen, so I would think that would be weird.
You're so far apart that, like, you guys would have to yell to be able to talk.
Right.
It looks kind of like a classic wrestling stance
Yeah, yeah.
where you have like one hand around the head. So that's what you're gonna be able to see.
All right.
If I delivered to you tenfold of the bodies that were here, maybe alive, maybe dead, maybe a mix of both. And then I push her away, just like a couple feet.
I will take that into consideration. Oh, and
Just
you might want to do something about that. And you realize that at some point while you were doing that, she stabbed you in the abdomen with a spear just to poke you.
I look down. I pull out my flask of water and I just start pouring it on.
Mm,
It stings a little bit. I guess we can exact that from my future payments.
I will think about it.
Tell you what, if you haven't any doubts about trusting me, let me give you something that will alleviate any doubts. And out from my shirt, I pull a raven's foot and I toss it to her.
She eats it.
Let me know how that tastes.
Like chicken. I like chicken. Hey, well, I might be in such a mood to not sick my dogs on you and kill you. However, I can't do anything about Ephraim. Ta-ta
What I'm
now.
saying is, if I die, you don't get paid anyway.
I hope you don't. I would like to play more. But if Strahd sees me trying to not hurt you, especially trying to stop Ephraim, I would face a fate worse than death. And to be frank, I am far more scared of him than anything you could say. But you've made an interesting proposition, so I won't hurt you for now. Good luck. Kind of like disappears into a blob into the ground. And Ephraim just kind of looks confused as the dogs dissipate and go away. He just annoyingly holds a hand up, and now there's a bunch of undead rising from the ground. They're covering an
What are
area.
the undead?
What are the undead?
Yeah,
Peop-
what specific undead are they?
People.
Oh, just, okay, zombies?
Yep. Some of which are the people who died here in Vallaki.
Mm-hmm.
And it's everywhere. And they're pushing Mark and Millard. Well, I guess Mark's kind of on his rope thing, but they're the masses are kind of like covering to where they're pushing you closer to the sphere in the center. And Ismart just kind of takes a look around and is trying to take a look at things, and just looks at the sphere and is just kind of trying to think of any possible circumstance here.
Well, can Ismark and Millard climb up my rope? Would they have access to that, or are the zombies already encroaching on that territory?
They'd already be in that territory.
Okay.
Ismark is going to look at Millard. Millard? Are you toying with me, or can you hear me?
What's up? What can I do? I mean,
I have
we're
an
all
idea.
surrounded, right?
I have an idea. It's a bad one.
Okay.
Can I ask you a favor?
It depends on what it is, Mark. You've been pretty straightforward this whole time, so I trust you.
If you survive this and you're able to find Irina, say goodbye to her for me, please.
What's your plan?
And when he says that, he kind of engulfs himself to where his whole body emanates in the flame of what his hand was, and he takes a step inside the dome.
Ismark, what are you doing?
He actually has his eyes closed at this point, and he's just walking towards the center, but he's not decaying. He's walking all the way towards the center. He begins to kind of hold his arms out, and Millard and Mark both see the sphere actually start to shrink instead of expand. It's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And that's where we're going to go to Zhao and Ayla. So hard to do these transitions.
I wonder why.
Yep. Oh. So the last thing Zeke had said to Zyle is that since he's not going to have the courage to kill him, that he's going to make him hurt to the point of wishing that he had. And he's holding Ayla by the hair and is facing Zyle. And Ayla and Zyle will give you a chance to say something to each other if you want to.
Can Zyle even get up and move towards her at all, or is he just so beaten at this point that he's still going to try, even if it means he falls flat on his face?
Yep. He's just beaten and kind of, beaten and down.
He's got ragged breath. You were the best I ever had.
In much pain and tiredness, as the black had continued to not just go over her chest, but over her arms and down her abdomen. She breathes heavily and tears start to come down her cheek. Every breath is like daggers in her chest. Every breath, it feels like more and more strength just slowly leaves her body, leaving her fingers, leaving her hands, leaving her feet, leaving her legs. Zyle, when I met you, even though I thought I knew so much, I really knew nothing of this world. Even though I was trained so much to fight, to protect, I knew nothing of it until I met you. Thank you for teaching me, for helping me, for being a father that I needed when mine had died.
He's gonna, as best he can, reach. I don't know if he's even close enough to reach her.
No, you're about 20, 30 feet apart.
You will survive this. I know it. And when you do, continue to fight for what is true. You are my family. And family's first.
As she says that, he'll, as he's reaching, he's just shaking. and it's like tears and blood and everything else. Thank you for being the strength I thought I had lost and the child I never had.
And now you're going to hear Zeke holding her. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Good. Gosh. And he rears back and just smokes Ayla in the side of the head. And she goes unconscious. My gosh. Is it ever going to stop? He just kind of shakes her head towards Zyle. Just kind of like limp. And she's alive, but she's just unconscious. He's just taunting Zyle with her. Don't worry, Big Z. I'll take good care of her. I won't kill her. No. That'd be far too easy. No, if I'm gonna make you hurt, I will take her away from you. And you're gonna learn next time. You should have killed me. And he kind of creates a portal behind him with his hand and gets ready. Turns. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot. I still gotta watch you hurt one more time. And the hooded figure standing in front of you is gonna grab you by the scruff and like pull you up to where it's holding you. And you're on your feet now, so you can't like quite support yourself, but and I guess he's doing it with his left arm, and you gotta like hold on to it, and you're standing, but kind of also using him to hold yourself up. And although right now he's standing a little taller than you are, by a little bit, and looking down, he goes to pull the hood off. And in this moment, Zyle sees Idris. You have a reaction?
Can you tell if it's an illusion in any way, or does it?
Seems like every other time.
He kind of, the strength he's using to hold himself up on his arm and all, it just kind of all fades away, and he almost just collapses unless Idris just holds him up.
He's holding you.
Hold him up.
Yeah, he's holding you. And holding you. He looks at you. And then with his right robot arm, extends his fingers and shoves it through your gut.
As he draws back, Zyle's just going to say, "Why?"
And just shoves it in just to create a wound. Just pulls it back out and drops you. And now you've like collapsed to the ground. You're very hurt. And you can look up and see that the Idris robotic arm covered in your own blood. And it's setting in now. This is not an illusion. This is Idris standing in front of you. It holds out his robot arm. You see kind of an energy beam beginning to form. Goodbye, Zyle. And
I would
Zeke,
imagine he can't even talk at this point.
just a mix of pain and shock and everything around it. And the energy beam begins to grow. And Zeke is still holding an unconscious Ayla, just watching. And back at where Ismark, Mark, and Millard are, the sphere has gotten to the point to where it's almost gone. It's just around Ismark now. He's had his eyes closed this whole time. He just looks up and manages to make eye contact with Millard. Goodbye. And he lets go, and the black flame is around him no more, and you see the sphere just close in, and just a huge blast and light just covers the area. It'll actually knock Mark off of your rope, and everyone is blinded and on the ground. Back where Elberth and Nadar are, you see a blinding light appear, and both Kinos and Samael both look confused and suddenly in pain, and it's just light. Back where Zao and Ayla is, you see that beginning to take place, and Zeke, that's our cue. And Zeke goes through the portal and takes Ayla with her. And the bright light overtakes. And when it fades back, Zao, you're alone. Idris is gone. Zeke is gone. Ayla's gone. Millard and Mark, you gain yourself, and all the undead are collapsed. Omen and Ephraim are nowhere to be seen. And at the center is now a pile of bones. They're kind of radiating. That's where Ismark was standing. And Nadar and Elberth likewise. The dome is still around you, but you don't see Kinos or Samael anywhere. And with that, Ismark gave his life in a way that put forth something in motion that the Seven did not expect, thus creating the bones of Saint Ismark and putting safety in what was once Vallaki once again for the time being. And that is where we'll end tonight's episode.
That's not exactly something we know, right?
It's just speaking to the players in the stream.
Okay.
Yep.
Matt, we're coming after you now.
Yeah.
Okay, I can
And now
be
we're
there by
going on a 2-week
11.
break.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I can be there by 11, guys. Keep me on the stream so I can brutally beat him in front of everyone.
just make sure you
I'll do what I
tackle him
can.
out of the screen when you
Yeah.
do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man.
That's not
Okay.
promoting violence.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yep.
My favorite moment was Idris supposedly killing Zyle, or like showing up. That was really cool.
Oof. Okay.
My performance.
You
Not
pulled
my
a switcheroo
performance?
on me there, man.
I mean, the whole situation. So the performances included that, like that whole setup.
Yep.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fully expected him to be a different character that they haven't heard about, but
Yeah. Miller
Send you a
clone
message.
number 5.
Yep. Okay, so we're going to transition to the post-stream part of the chat now. So thank you, everybody, for sticking around with this episode. Ooh, boy, what a doozy. And we'll get to the giveaway portion in a minute. The first thing we love to do at the end of every episode is talk about the highlights of the night. So we'll go around to do that. And Millard, I know you kind of already gave yours, but if you want to add any more,
That
you
was
may.
it. Yep. Nope, that was it.
Well done to everybody involved.
We leveled up, right?
Great role play across the board for everybody. I knew that was kind of a weird episode because of the way everything had to flow, but really good job all around. Okay. Millard, are you staying in or are you hopping out? What are you doing?
Yeah, I can stay until 11, so I'll stay in
Okay.
for the 15 minutes.
Nice. All right, well, let's roll to see who wants to talk next in chat. If you had a highlight of the night, go ahead and let us know what you liked, or I guess what you didn't like, one or the other,
Or if you have any questions.
or questions.
We like questions.
Liam, that is you, my dear sir.
Okay, favorite moment. I thought that Ayla and Zael had some really good roleplay moments. And I thought that Nadar and Elbreth played their fight pretty good.
Mm-hmm. I like the idea of during just the scene of that chaos of just Mark just chilling on a rope that's tied to nothing, just kind of in the air.
It goes up to at the most 60 feet to
Right.
It's pretty high.
a extra dimensional portal
Right,
Yeah.
but
or
but
Pretty sweet
extra
spell.
dimensional space.
I mean, when you're trying to stay away from hellhounds, I'd say it's a pretty good trick.
yeah, it's a good
Yeah.
idea.
It's a great spell. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't have thumbs, so
That is true. It would be
Yeah.
hard to climb. It's just a funny thought, like just it's a rope not attached to a building at all. It just goes straight up, and Mark's just chilling at the top of it in the midst of this desolation.
Oh, I wouldn't want to go up to the top in case I fell.
Fair enough. Just high enough to where it's safe.
Yeah.
It was interesting. Okay. Anything else?
No.
I'll give us some little background music. A little happy background music to
To drown
I will
out the
say-
screams.
right.
Drown out the
Alright.
screams.
What'd you say?
Screams never leave.
What you say, Liam?
I was just thinking the screams probably should stopped once everyone was dead.
Potentially.
Yeah, Matt, you should have been on that.
Come on.
Not the ones in our heads.
They're
audio
stopped.
technician, what?
Okay.
They're stopped on.
And our in our heart are still going on.
So they're
Yeah,
stopped. They're stopped
that's
on my end and the stream's end. So if y'all are still hearing it, you just need to turn the word that says ambient
No,
down.
it's not now.
Yeah.
We're just saying in
Yeah.
the game.
Sure, fair enough. Okay, that will be Miss Bex.
Oh, interesting. It is screaming for me too. I'll just close that window. Unless that's just.
You might just be hearing screams in your house. You may need help.
From the basement.
You may need an exorcist in your house. Fun.
Jeez.
No, just call the Phasmophobia crew.
Yeah, I liked the intestines. And I liked
Oh no.
That's a very
the
Becky answer.
but I
I'm gonna send
also
you
liked
intestines for your birthday.
thank you. I also liked the father daughter stuff.
Mhm.
That was yeah.
That hurt.
Did I get anybody to cry? Anyone at all?
Me.
You didn't get me there, or get me to cry.
I
But
felt
I was real close, and then Two-Bit ended the session.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Stormer.
I felt
Sorry,
it in
Matt.
It didn't take me so long to respond because I was thinking of what to say. It took me so long because I had to collect myself.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was good. Okay. What else, Miss Bex?
I don't know. That's what comes to mind.
Intestines. Got it.
Yeah. That was only half of what it is, and I said it first because it was supposed to be second, and the other part was first.
Playing with entrails and then the sweet stuff.
Yep. That's like my
For
two.
the record, I put Zyle and Ayla's father-daughter moment above the intestines. Okay.
I'm surprised you didn't mention Strahd
That's-
drinking and spitting out the blood.
Oh gosh, I forgot.
Decapitating the body.
No, I remember the decapitation. This movie that I didn't remember that Strahd was there. If I remembered that part, but yeah, I don't know. That's
I
yeah.
can't say I'm sad to see him go. So
I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was hard for me to not just bust in and say that dude was a knob anyway.
Right. Okay. That is going to be Mr. Lava.
Oh, favorite part. I did like the end part there with Zyle and Ayla.
Yep. Knew that was gonna hurt.
How dare you kill Luthrian in front of Nadar?
yeah.
Because now Nadar, I was like,
Yep. Yeah.
I feel like his more likely reaction would be get out. His first goal isn't even to heal or like try and get better from this. It's go and find the 7 and kill them all in a 1v7 situation. Just not good.
Here's what's really gonna hurt if you haven't stopped to think about it. You're all separate,
Yeah.
so you all don't know what happened. You're all gonna have to tell each other what happened. Yep.
And Nadar might not even be there.
Yep.
He just might be gone.
Mm-hmm. It's, yep. Like I want to say like the rough part's over, but I guess the aftermath might be just as rough.
I just promised to like kill a bunch more people. So
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah. I did
Alright.
also like Strahd drinking the blood.
Of course.
There was no dragons. I can't say that was my favorite part.
The dark and gritty parts. Got it.
Dark and gritty.
Yep. I mean, we said this campaign would get there. It was just kind of
Yeah.
light leading up to it. And it was like, okay, well, here we go. Taking the training wheels off.
Yeah.
Can our next campaign be like kid friendly so we can actually use it to introduce kids to D&D instead of being like?
I'll try.
And then we played with gods, kids.
I'll try. I make no promises.
Yeah. Okay.
Just because I'm still writing it.
That will be Miss SJ.
Boy. Also, for those of you who didn't catch it or understand it, Ayla's gone. So this is actually my last episode for a while. I am now officially going on my maternity leave.
Well, then why are you still here?
Well, because this is my last episode.
this is the announcement.
This is the announcement. This is my last episode. And then I'm on my
I don't want to talk about it.
And the baby's name is
Sal doesn't want to talk about
I don't want to talk
Nor does
about.
Richard.
Nope.
Oh yeah, Jay has a good point. Which NPC are you going to name the baby after?
Ooh.
Millard is 2
Id-
syllables.
Idris.
This
No, it's clearly Mert Danjaw. That,
Hey, there you go. There you go.
Danjaw is also
First
2
No,
name-
I'm
syllables.
really sad the fact that Ismark is gone. I really liked him.
yeah.
Nah, he's the worst. I
hurt.
didn't
I
ever
was like,
actually trust
we just
him.
lost 2 other people, and now you killed Ismark too. And
Alright, he was evil.
also, no Sephiroth. I'm actually having a boy, so it will
Right.
not be Ayla.
So Ismark.
Not Mark.
Ismark.
Ismark.
I'll just call him.
Ismark.
I'll just call him
You have
Ismark.
to get AJ
He's-
on board with this. So good luck.
Ismark Idris. It doesn't
Again,
really
you-
flow, but
You have to
That's
get
not
my
important.
husband on board with the name because he'll probably veto it. So, but anyway, so this has been feels like a long time coming. So last performance of
Of a while.
Matt and I did try and plan it out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
With the idea of trying to make Richard cry.
Clearly. I knew Matt was going to be on it, but not you. I didn't think you were going to go to the dark side.
Okay. It wasn't just I wanted to make everybody cry. Okay, it wasn't just for you.
But she did emphasize Richard.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, because I knew he wanted to make it hurt. I knew it was gonna hurt because of how it obviously had to be.
For sure.
And then I know some stuff that everyone else doesn't know, and hopefully Matt and I will be able to make a special podcast episode on my in-between feeling well enough to do so. But we'll see. No promises on that. But I kind of hope we do get a chance to do that.
Sure.
But yeah. There's definitely a lot of gasp moments when you said the rope was intestines. And then when Strahd brought up the cup, it was just like,
Yep.
More please. I was thinking, I'm not sad to see this parent go, oh, I didn't know he'd go like that. Okay.
He was also evil, probably,
Yep.
from a certain point of view.
Mm-hmm. How many people died this stream?
23 by my count, but I could be
a
wrong.
lot, because a
Too
lot
many.
of the people
Yeah.
died.
Too
But
many.
the important person, the little girl with the ribbon, did not die.
As far as we know.
As far as
far
we
as we
know.
know.
That's
We're
almost.
just gonna find a ribbon floating
Whose
in the wind.
intestines do you think were delivered to?
Yeah, I was like,
Who else would it be?
Ooh, that'd be mean.
Omen's the little girl the entire time.
Ooh, that would be mean.
that's what I'm starting to think. Like when he brought up Omen the first time, and he said, "Here's a rope." I was totally expecting you to turn around and see the little girl, but like with the most creepy expression on her face, and then it like to be intestines, and then her to slowly form into Omen, and then Omen would have this bow in her hair for the rest of the time.
That would be creepy.
Yeah, it would. Thank you for not doing that.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah,
Matt.
that would be extra cruel.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That would have played out so much better in my head.
Major characters, AK, if you count, because it's kind of like a two-part episode, 39 and 40 almost, because it's the same sequence together. If you count the two, then there's three, because you had Lucian, Luthrian, and Ismark. All died.
All three evil.
If
Well,
it's
I mean,
just this episode, then
and
two.
the Baron.
Well, yeah,
And
yeah.
the Baron.
I count him as a major character.
Fair enough. And the Baron. So
A major
Three.
evil character.
3 this episode,
Well,
4 if you
I
count.
don't know about that. We've
He was
only
major
seen
enough.
him, I suppose, maybe, depending on your standard.
We've only seen what's
He
his
had
name?
a name.
The Hunter twice too.
Right.
And he would be a major character.
That's why we don't have to fight the Baron, knowing how much power he had beforehand. So
Correct. But how concerning is it that
Yeah, yeah.
Strahd was
I
just
think
tossing him around like a rag doll?
Yeah, but we know
think the
Strahd's
most-
powerful from other stuff.
Yeah.
So
But
that's
I
not like
think-
a new thing.
I think the most of the Baron's power is just in his control over his people.
I think most of his power is dead.
Yeah, I agree.
Wait, so you're saying he's only mostly dead?
He's only mostly dead now and thrown
That's what
halfway
I-
across the
I-
city.
That's what I heard. You said, I think his power is mostly dead.
Yeah.
So,
also,
Necrom-
you missed a great opportunity.
Necromancer Baron.
I totally thought he was. Which was it? it was either Luthien or Ismark, I thought he was gonna turn to them and say, "Fly, you fool!"
No. To what? Like
I
they're
was
in a
waiting
dome.
for it, and then
Well-
he didn't say it, and I was upset.
They were in a dome. Where would they fly?
I know. That,
They weren't in the dome though.
You gotta learn to make walls, man.
Right? They were outside
Not
the dome.
domes.
Oh, you talking about
Actually,
Ismark?
Infinitely high walls.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about Luthien when he was talking to Elberth and Nadar, because Elberth and Nadar were inside the dome.
I thought
But
everything inside the dome died.
no.
you're talking about
Different
back.
dome.
Different
with
dome.
you're talking about Ismark.
Okay.
There's like
There's a blue dome
Yeah.
that we're
there's a
in.
black
Nadar can't
dome
take it.
and there's a blue dome.
I call
And there's
the
a rope
Two
strip.
domes.
A
I
rope
died.
One
I
dome.
call-
Bye, Jay.
Bye, Jay. I call the black dome a blob.
Sure. Or
Okay.
or death.
There we go. We got the dome and the blob.
Dome and the blob. Okay,
Yep.
so it was someone was like, "I'm gonna save you guys." I'm pretty sure it was Mark and Millard. And
Luthien was the one who cast it over Elberth and Nadar when he realized that they were not going to survive.
Well,
The
good
the
news
bout.
is it doesn't seem to be a concentration spell that he cast.
Yep.
Unless somehow he's still concentrating it inside that black razor. I know.
Oh, whatever.
I know.
And even though Nadar's Path of the Beast, he isn't a mole.
Anyways,
All right, it's
uh,
either Lava or Richard's turn.
Lava already went. So,
Oh, then it's Richard's
did you have anything else, or is that all you wanted?
turn. Last thing, Richard, I'm really sorry.
Are you really, though? Are you really?
Kind of made me. It had to happen.
It
I'm
had to
sorry
happen.
that I got
Couldn't
pregnant
happen.
and have to leave, so that this had to happen.
All right, Richard, what you got? Lay it. Feed it back.
I mean, obviously, SJ completely breaking my composure is top of the list. The Idris reveal, did not see that coming. As I said, and I sent you a message of who I thought it was actually going to be.
Oh yeah.
Which was also going to be rough, but
Mhm.
dang, man. Like, what did I ever do to you other than be friendly?
You didn't play golf with
Good.
him that one time.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
Little did I know
And
the
I wanted
emotional
to.
damage that would cause me.
I'm going to show something to the
Oh.
group so that you know I'm covering half of this. So, how long that's been a thing.
I couldn't really read it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So.
No, I was looking at the stream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wasn't sure which camera he was going to show it to. So
Yeah, I did show it to the stream.
yeah.
Yeah, our camera.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Go ahead.
the way you handled Zeke was great. The tormented younger brother.
Mm-hmm.
We as people, as your players know it, the characters don't, but Ismark's sacrifice and becoming something greater, the bones of Saint Ismark, that was a nice, cool way, and he went out on his own terms. I'm still mad about it, but I'm less mad because of that.
Sure.
Yes. How much of that? I almost want to know how much of that was improvised when you saw us all threatening you in the chat.
No, nothing that happened tonight was improvised.
No, I figured. Like this is
Other than
like,
dialogue, I guess you could say has to be
Did a
improvised. But
quick straw poll in the Discord if anyone was against me driving down there. And
Go for it.
yeah,
Yeah,
and I got no nays against it, so just
All right.
throwing that out there.
Good thing Jay isn't upset about it, or
anything else?
he lives down the street.
Anything else, Mr. Richard?
Gosh, there was so much good stuff.
Yep. I didn't know
I really liked-
how to like really convey to you guys like the magnitude of what 39 and 40 were going to be.
I really like Millard trying to strike a bargain with Ullman, pulling her in and doing that. That was a very Millard play, and he handled that very well. That was cool. But I don't like the idea of like, you're going to provide you an endless stream of bodies, essentially. But it was played out really well.
Do what I gotta do.
Endless stream of bodies.
Yep.
Wow.
And I love Mark's rope trick. The rope just chilling in the air, and he's like, "All right, yep, I'm good. I got the high ground now, boys."
Yep. Nothing to do but climb and just buy my time. Hope for the best.
It's over, Strahd. I have the high ground.
Yep.
And there was something Mark said early on that was sassy, Mark, and now I've forgotten it because so much crazy stuff happened. I have to go back and watch the video on demand to remember it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. That was... Yep. That was... very good. Okay. Anything else?
I think that's got it. I'm sure I'll
Okay.
think of something else.
Okay. Let's see. All right. So, man, there are so many good moments tonight. like, good gosh. The hardest thing about episodes like this for me was going into it, like just knowing what was going to happen. So like going into tonight, I knew Lutherian was going to die. I knew Ismark was going to die. I knew that Zeke and Zyle were going to throw down. It was not going to go well. And then ultimately to hurt him, he was both going to take Ayla from him and reveal Idris in the same play. To just try and break Zyle to as much of a point as they possibly can. And it's just like, you're just anticipating all this of just like, how can you possibly make this work in the way it's supposed to without underselling it? Because like, at least in a narrative sense, it should be like, crazy grandiose for all this stuff to happen. And for it to all happen in one episode, so tricky. And that's why ultimately this got split into two, where 39 was kind of the setup and then 40 was just the fallout, right? Kind of, more or less. The biggest concern about all of it was just it being split the way it was, because I was like, there's no good way to transition from moment to moment to moment in a way that everybody's going to want to. Like, you're going to want to stay in it and keep going, but you gotta move around because all these things are happening at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I know, there were so many things I wanted to say, one of which was leave no dwarf behind, and Adar was going to try and break out to save Lutherian.
Yeah, that's what sucks, because I tried really hard to make sure to let people say as much as they could without each scene necessarily going on longer than what it should. Knowing that Zyle and Ayla's needed to have the most showcase, with it just being SJ's last episode, we kind of wanted to just focus on that the most. But even still, I think bare minimum the first half was probably a good even distribution, and then towards the back half we had a little more of the Zyle and Ayla type of thing. But it was also tricky because I knew that the end of all of it was going to be Ismark sacrificing himself and the bones causing everyone to get ejected, basically, right? So like everything had to be at its precipice before Ismark died, right? So like we had every single part had to reach a certain milestone before we could shift to that. So that was a bit of a task and a half to bounce between, but I've been looking forward to this episode for a long time.
So, meta question here.
Sure.
That you do not
No.
have to answer.
Okay.
Were the bones that Millard first disturbed when we came to Vallaki, and in that first combat or whatever when he did that, was that also, were those the bones of Saint Ismark as well?
No, those are the bones of Saint Andrew.
Okay.
Or Saint Andrel, or whatever the
Yeah,
Is it
good draw.
Androl,
Okay.
I think. Yeah.
Okay, because I'm just trying to... I'm still trying to wrap my head around how you have this work, because I know some, not all versions of Curse of Strahd have it, where it's just the cycle repeats with the same characters.
Yep. Oh, it's completely removed from the module. Like, you can throw it away.
Yeah,
Just throw it out.
Like I said, it was a meta question. Nadar wouldn't know anything about it.
Yep. That's fine.
Josiah, as the player, wanted to know.
That's fine. That's knowledge for anyone. Like, that is a moment that has nothing to do with the module at all, other than the fact that there are bones that help protect Vallaki. That part, I guess, is kind of continuity, but this was a good shift. But I thought it was a good way to pay respect to Ismark in some way. That not only that he would do that, but that, he was worthy of being that.
Yeah.
Basically, that like even in death, he's going to be protecting people.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yep, that was a good send off for him.
It's gonna be really sad when Ayla has to find out.
Yeah, or
And
feel really, really,
amount of weeks time.
really sad or really bad for whoever has to tell Irina.
Yeah.
That's when you said
Make the
Nadar.
dwarf do it. I want to see him get punched again.
I
Yep.
just suggested send Nadar.
So
We'll send Nadar.
Nadar's a barbarian. If you rage right before,
Just make sure you
But-
do it in a very open field where there's no one to hurt.
some of my favorite moments of tonight, little subtle ones, having one, I think maybe two reactions of the players' faces when I mentioned the name of the sword that Kenos had. Because Richard, bare
Did
minimum.
you see my eyes? Yeah.
Yep. I was like, he knows. He knows what this is and what this does. He's like, oh,
crap. That thing is terrifying.
yes, it is. And who better of a character to have it?
Me.
No.
I mean, yeah.
give it to Nadar.
There's some bad side effects that come with that.
Yeah,
like
no, it has some horrible side effects.
Yeah, it's
If you're not just super evil.
yeah. If you are evil,
dark.
then it kind of caution to the wind. But a good person would never be able to do well with that weapon long term.
I'm pretty sure I did react to the name of the weapon, and I just I don't know what it is. I want to know what it is.
Well, it's not good.
Black-
It is truly terrifying.
What is it
Google it,
called? The
because-
black
Is that-
Black
Is that
Ra-
from the module?
razor. The
Black Razor? It's not from the Curse of Strahd
It's-
module.
Yeah,
it
it's
from,
just from
like,
like D&D lore as a
Oh,
whole.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
been there since first edition, I think.
It's
We had in a campaign I did, the big bad evil guy ended up with it, and oh gosh, it was scary.
it's not a weapon you want to have to be on the other side of at all.
Okay.
I mean, because I think I explained it because Elberth asked if she had a memory of it, and it's a weapon that literally, like, if you were killed with that weapon, it takes your soul,
Oh, it eats it.
quite literally. So
Isn't
That's what-
that a Marvel thing?
that's what kind of hurt for Luthran, because I knew he was not only going to go, but kind of go in that way to where, he and he did it intentionally, right? So like he knew that all three of them weren't going to survive, and that they seemed to be on
Actually,
the
there is a way that they all three could have survived, at least temporarily.
false.
If
Nope.
he only put Nadar, if he only put Nadar in the force field thing, then Elbereth could have flown them up to safety.
No.
Nope.
And then we just hovered there for assuming they can't fly yet, then we just hovered there for a minute and come back down.
That's
Yep.
the walls.
Yeah. No, it
We'll just follow. Like it's just gonna be the same of just like it's just
yeah,
stalling.
right.
I
Yeah.
suppose.
Yeah, the only way that was going to end was either with all of them dying or him doing what he could to prolong your guys' deaths, even though he didn't know how long he could.
But
It
yeah,
was lucky that Ismark did that because there was supposed to be like, all right, 30 seconds later, here we go.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't know he could do it permanently. He just knew that he could try to do something.
Mhm.
And that's what he did. So, and he gave the comment, explaining his reasons for why he felt the need to do that. And that'll kind of be some of the pieces of what picks back up probably in the following episode, having a conversation with Henrik and stuff that goes on there. Yeah, so just mentioning that weapon was an interesting moment, seeing the reactions.
Yeah, but flying would have lasted a minute.
Oh, like, flying wouldn't have helped at all. Like, once the 7 got unleashed to where they were not bound by anything, it would have been way worse, and just everyone would have died. It, like, at best, you'd buy some time, but it was not something that would have gone
It would have been
well.
a situation where Albereth would have died, too.
Correct.
The shield thing only lasts, 30 seconds?
You don't know what the shield is.
You're not even there. You don't even know it's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Isn't
know.
it still there
But
right now?
me as a player, I know.
I know.
No, I'm going to say you don't. Because it's not from D&D.
Me as a player, I know that the shield thing is because I heard it.
Well, I mean, you don't know it lasts 30 seconds.
It could be a completely
Well,
different style.
Okay.
It could be from Pathfinder, for all I know.
Yeah. It's that's getting into
Could be
its
its
own
thing for
territory.
all we know.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm just assuming it's plot protection.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Acceptable.
so that was a good moment. Let me think. There was, all the role play all around was good. So, the one question I have, that I guess anybody can answer, because I wasn't able to really look at chat a whole lot because I was really having to toggle a whole bunch of things back and forth in my head and try to keep them all in order. So, were there points of realization that it set in that a character was about to die?
That's what we all started shouting at you in chat. Like,
And was
no,
it-
don't you dare! We'll kill you.
And specifically before it was obvious, 'cause I guess there's always a turning point to where it's about to happen. Were there any that it was kind of, you had a feeling before it got there?
I think that was when I started threatening you in chat.
The Luthrian thing with the shield was obvious.
Yeah,
Um,
I thought so too.
Ismark, it sort of seemed quite obvious when he entered the, but I suppose even before then, when he said that he wanted to favor from Millard,
Mm,
that sort of, but I suppose with us all being surrounded and not really having any idea of what we can do sort of meant plot armor coming in.
sure. Yeah, I didn't get to see it. I'm going to guess that when he asked Millard if he could have a favor, that's when certain things in chat started happening. I'm guessing. I don't know. Because I didn't get to see it. But... and then, of course, just waiting for the Idris reveal was quite a moment.
Yeah, you really packed a lot into this episode.
I know, and I wanted to pack even more, but it was just too much stuff happening to do it all justice. So there's still more stuff to happen later.
But we're gonna go into a 3-week break.
Technically, so 2 week
By
from
we, I mean you guys. I'm gone.
2 weeks break from this. The third week, which is June 14th, I think, is Mark's one shot, and then we'll pick back up after that.
I'm honestly really excited for it to pick back up and to see Zyle's because I assume basically he got stabbed. He probably fainted from that. So him waking up to either where we left him or in a medic bed, And then just like the slowly coming on of Ayla's gone, of him having to tell everybody Ayla's gone. It's gonna be interesting. Yeah, I mean, like you said at the beginning, you know, we all were separated, so we don't know who's still here. We don't know what's happened. We don't know, like, you know, Zyle and Ayla don't know that Strahd himself came, and it was just like, you know what? You guys have seemed to all made your decision. So, 7, go at it. You know.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'm halfway imagining kind of like the in-game moment where everybody gets back and one of them is like, "Hey, where's Nat?" Because that's like, "Hey, where's Ayla?" He's like, "Well," then he gets to, and then poor Zyle, he's gonna have some PTSD for a bit.
Yeah.
After
He gets to be the Hawkeye.
Yep. Sorry, buddy.
Now the question's gonna end up being, who's gonna be Hulk about this?
Okay, I'm gonna let you know I'm not dead.
I figured.
The one small redeeming quality here.
One thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the characters don't know that.
Right.
I could be
I
dead. For all
I
they know.
think, yeah, I think that Zyle is going to be more messed up knowing that she is somewhere being tortured.
Correct.
Like, because he told him this is going to be worse. And so I feel like, yeah, like Zyle's going to be even more messed up for that. It's just like, it would be better if she was dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Being
So is he
tortured by
gonna tell
Idris,
them
no
she's
less.
dead, or is he gonna tell them that she was captured?
Right.
But you described her very clearly as unconscious.
Right.
Right. So he knows she's not dead then.
Because he gave a little speech about, like, oh, I'm not going to kill
Yeah,
her.
and
Correct.
then Idris is like, haha, stab. So now he
Oh.
gets to imagine, until he sees her again, Idris torturing her, which is going to be
Ooh.
really good for his psyche.
Yep. Sorry.
Yeah. And then, like we've already said, Arena finding out about Ismark.
Not it.
Yeah.
Do we, like, know that she's alive? I lost track of when we last saw her.
You do not know that.
Ooh, we might not
I
have
mean,
to tell her.
maybe. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's already, taken care of. It's fine.
Little bonus there.
Oof.
Please tell me
Oof.
she's alive.
Oof.
I can't lose both of them.
Ugh.
Could just see it now. So, who's going to tell Irina? And somebody's, oh, yeah, she's dead. And everybody just goes, whew.
Oh no, it'd have to be
boy.
stressed even more if she's dead, because it's like,
Man.
There goes all of the technical leaders of the town of Barovia.
Yeah, they'll just have a power vacuum for a while and figure it out.
That's no big deal.
The drunk lady will take over.
I am for this.
That's when y'all make. That's when we make Mark the ruler of Barovia.
No.
No.
I'm for this.
No, Sticky.
Sticky.
Yes.
Sticky ruler of all
Hey,
Barovia.
Sticky.
We
Yes.
depose Strahd and put Sticky in his place.
Oh, I'm very excited for what's to come out. I know we have several weeks of a break after this, but this is a turning point for a lot of things. So it's gonna get interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And as we've learned in the episode, the brakes have been pulled off. The 7 are no longer forbidden from trying to kill you.
And we're level 5, right?
Mhm.
And I just want that extra attack.
Just Ayla.
Yeah. You would like that, wouldn't you?
I would. I don't like not attacking multiple times in a turn.
Yeah.
We
Alright,
can't do that.
So
No, so I can with 2-weapon fighting, which only counts for my claws, my hand axes, and we ruled it that my tail does if I'm attacking a creature directly behind me.
So real quickly, so we have a giveaway to do, and then we'll do one more roundabout question and then wrap things up for tonight because I know it's getting late, but we just wanted to talk a little bit since it's episode 40, yesterday's last episode, and just have a good time. So real quick, let's just go ahead and do the giveaway. Again, all you had to do is just be active in chat. So I'm going to pick a random name, do my little generator here, hit enter, and it's going to pop up in the chat.
Roll.
JT Tuck.
Hey, I won him.
Yay.
JT Tuck. I don't.
If he's not here, I can message him and say he
Okay.
won.
Nice.
Yeah, he was
So-
here earlier.
He was.
If you're here, just get me with me in Discord. We'll get you whatever you want. Within a
I
round
might
of.
have to act as middleman with that, though. I don't know.
That's fine. However we got to make it work, we'll get it work. So I guess Lava will let you, if I don't see him post in chat, we'll let you kind of mediate with that one. So congratulations, Mr. JT Tuck. Thank you for coming in and supporting the stream, and that's, there he is. Whoop whoop.
Yay.
Yay!
Yeah, just
Congrats, JT.
get with me in Discord, and we'll get you a giveaway, my man. We'll get you hooked up with something. So last roundabout that both chat can answer, and we'll ask our players. So you guys are 40 freaking episodes in now. So well done. First off, for sticking with it this long. Like, my gosh. And then in addition to that, I feel like it's gotten heavier as it's gone on. But, there's been some moments and some characters that invoked emotion or sadness or character death, whatever have you. So just want to get a feel from anyone in chat as well as the players so far from episodes 1 through 40. What moment kind of hits you the hardest from a impactful, sad standpoint, like in a good way? Like you're like, yeah, like this was done well, and you feel like it was entertaining, sad, however you want to word it. Just what moment you found to be the saddest, and we'll go in reverse order as usual. And then Stormer, you got to be specific because now we have 2 instances of that. So, yeah. I really had to make sure that I tried to sell that really hard because I was like, oh crap, they're trying to guess what's going to happen here. And they got pretty close.
That's how you know it's a good plot, when people are trying to guess what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You suggested this?
Yeah, they did. Well, they suggested him being like almost the BBEG. So it wasn't quite to the extent of what they were suggesting, but it was close enough.
You and Dirk, you think you know someone?
Yeah, he's not above Strahd.
But we got neutral evil. I'm pretty sure we have neutral evil Dirk in chat.
So, Zyle, Mr. Richard, I'll let you go first.
Gee, there's such a shortage of moments to choose from here.
That's what I'm experiencing.
Sorry.
My turn.
Top 2.
Sure.
Because it's a tie, really, in a lot of ways. I think the one from tonight with Ayla edges it out, though, is the winner, obviously. And the number 2 was the dream sequence on the bridge when it was a river of blood and Zyle and Zeke had their conversation. That was brutal.
Yep. That was a good moment,
Not as
though.
brutal as Ayla's speech, but brutal.
Good moments, nonetheless. I like that answer. Okay. That would be SJ next, I believe.
So wait, what was the actual question?
Saddest moment
Saddest moment?
in the 40 episodes so far. For you, specifically.
I mean, probably tonight.
Just all of it.
I mean, having, Ayla having to say goodbye because she basically thinks she's gonna die. She doesn't think she's gonna see any of them again. So that, and also like when she had to relive the death of her father. No. Trying to think. Man, and then killing Idris right off the bat at the beginning was rather harsh. And
Well, apparently he's not dead.
apparently not, but Ayla was already knocked out, so she doesn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Good answers.
That's probably it.
All right. Mr. Lava.
It's hard. Night was sad. Session 0, that prologue was sad. Those are the first two that come to mind.
Hmm.
And then every time that I've been acting and like giving backstory from Nadar, like most of the time it's like Nadar is crying, and some of those times I'm also like almost crying, just like I want to really sell this.
Sure.
So like one thing I've also noticed, just as a side tangent, when I have Nadar like raging and he's usually about to go sort of that feral sort of thing that he's done a couple times, I've noticed Nadar's nose actually, or my nose actually twitches.
Just really trying to sell it.
Like, and it doesn't even come through on the webcams.
Right.
It's a funny habit that seems to be a thing.
If it gets you in the zone, it gets you in the zone.
I know.
Like, whatever it takes. All right. Those are good answers. I like those. I think it's Miss Bex.
I don't know. I guess there was something before, but yeah, I don't know. Like just any time that like any like Zyle Idris interaction usually end up being sad. So.
Thanks, Richard.
Maybe I left that book a little too open for you.
Yep.
And now that's even double cruel with the
Yeah.
It's even worse.
He left it open.
So yeah, there's multiple things there. I'm feeling sad for both Zyle and Richard. So
Right. Very accurate. See, my thought was going to be like a future answer. Is like I feel like Bex is going to be just both livid and destroyed when one day inevitably Omen dies. She's just not going to be happy. It's just going to be something I have to deal with whenever that time comes, which is going to be funny because y'all would be the one to do it, if any.
yeah, and I'll do it gladly. It's one of those complicated things, you know. Like
I don't want to do this.
like I don't know, like you know, if you're watching like any like superhero movie, like a lot of times there's like the villains are like really cool, but you also want them to die and lose, and you want the heroes to win. But like it doesn't mean the villains aren't like cool in the meantime. Like I don't know, it's just like wow, that's really like cool, but also like you need to die. So I don't know, it's complicated.
Sure.
I want to be the one to do the final killing blow and whisper in her ear. I'm sorry.
That would be poetic.
I don't want you to die, but I want to give the killing blow.
You're always my favorite.
Exactly. You're always my favorite, and I'm sorry, but you know I have to do this.
I'm pretty sure I want Nadar to kill Sam.
And then you kind of just, as respect, you have to play with her intestines. Is that how this works?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Except it's like suddenly, like for some reason, it's like all of a sudden for some reason, like Becky appears.
Everybody just looks and like shocked, like it's a respect thing.
One last
Elberth
time
is
for
there.
you, sweet omen.
Elberth is there with like the killer, and like Becky disappears
Y'all are
next to
weird.
her. Like,
Okay, Liam.
I also want to say that I'm really sad because I don't know what happened to the bat with the coin.
I know. I'm
Saddest-
sad we haven't seen that bet.
Yeah, we haven't seen
I'm
the
I'm
bat.
really,
Well,
I'm
you know,
really.
Vallaki.
At this point, I'm really worried. You know, that
I'm
something might have
scared
happened
for the
to him.
bat. I'm
Things
scared
I
for the
never
bat's safety.
thought that would be brought up. Okay, Liam, go ahead.
Saddest moment for me as a player, or
Player, yes.
okay. I'd have to go with Luthrian dying.
So tonight.
The reason, yeah, the reason why Luthrian and not Ismark is because he gave his life in a very in a way so that everyone else can live.
Mhm.
So it was more like a strategic sacrifice than a
Right.
yeah. But when Luthrian died, I guess he didn't know that we would end up being saved.
Right.
So it was more of like a just delay tactic.
Okay.
Less of a sacrifice, I think.
Sure. That makes sense. It's a good answer. Man, to this day, I think Ayla's dream sequence hurt a pretty good bit, which is reliving her dad dying. Was a pretty painful one. It's like that's a weird spot to be in when you're improving and like you're like internally like hurting at the improv as it comes, because you're just making this stuff up. You're like, this hurts. I gotta keep going, but it hurts. It's like doing the pinky promise thing and then like bringing that as a callback.
Oh,
Of
yeah.
like,
I feel no sympathy for you.
that's
I feel no sympathy for you too. But
that's fair. I'll take it. I'll take it in stride because I hope it was all a good story. Dang it.
So far, it is a good story.
And it, you know,
Good enough
hopefully,
to kill you over because
yeah,
how dare you kill us?
right. The more it hurts, the more it had to have meant something, right? That's the important thing to remember.
Wait, did you start a kill count for you?
Knowing
Important NPCs you have killed.
Ismark was going to die, I was a little sad just because that was kind of the more fun one to roleplay in terms of how it interacted with all of your characters. You know, I mean, like case in point, like just a few episodes ago, the fun bit in the tavern, just doing the same loop over and over and over again, is hilarious. So stuff like that is kind of shifted. So yeah, those two are probably like the most. And any of the roleplay moments with Zio and Idris always hurt a little bit. I don't know why I expected it to hurt, but I think Richard made a good point. Like the Idris and the Zio and Zeke interactions hurt a lot more than I anticipated them hurting. To where those were pretty brutal, just with their relationship and how fragmented it is and what all is going on there. Especially with Richard getting a high enough roll to be able to perceive like a deeper element going on there that made it just a little complicated. Like it's, yeah. That all was
because
really.
also,
Almost wish I'd failed that roll.
because then, but yeah, because it. Although with that, yeah, I don't know, like because also then it's like, it. With Zeke, you know, is Desire lay asleep, awake at night, thinking, oh, had we not fallen apart, maybe he wouldn't have fallen through this path of evil so fully, because back then it was just a small. It was well-meaning necromancy.
Right.
Gotta love that internal character turmoil.
It's a good point. It's a good point. But I think that is going to wrap things up for this evening. I know we've gone on pretty late, and thank all of you for sticking around that are still here. Congrats, JT, on the giveaway. Just make sure to get with me or Lava in Discord or however you get in touch with Lava, and we'll make sure to get you something there. Appreciate every last one of you for sticking around for 40 freaking episodes. My gosh, what a freaking commitment. And thank you, SJ, for sticking around for 40 episodes. Good luck with your baby. Obviously, we'll be talking to you, but stream may not see you for a minute.
I'll be around in Discord, guys, if you ever want. Say hi.
Mm-hmm. And who knows? She might, depending on what her mood is, she might still hop on game nights for Fortnite or something if she's up to it. Especially like after the baby, you might be able to pull that off. Depends on sleep times and stuff.
My communication with SJ is going to strictly be sob emotes.
Sob. Everything hurts. But thank you guys so very much for sticking around for this long. Enjoy the couple weeks off. We'll have updates in the Discord as time goes on. Look forward to Mark's one shot on June 14th. I think it's 14th. It's the second Tuesday of June, I think, because May 31st is, I think it's right. So look forward to that. We'll have as much updates as we can in Discord as we get closer to that time. But until then, thank you guys for watching so very much. Look forward to seeing where things go from here. But until next time, everybody say goodbye.
Good night.
Night, y'all.
See you guys soon.